Hi, intrepid viewers. Now, I'm sure the first thing you'll note is I've been to the hairdresser. Regular viewers will know that's Betty from Baghdad. Now, she does a fabulous job taming my hair, so it looks good for a minute. By this time next week, I'll be back to looking like a bush pig. So, thank you, Betty, for now. Now, there's so much to catch up on, and this is a big week. So I'm going to have a very quick look at the summit in Vietnam. Not much point having a look even, really, isn't it? Really, what happens when you get two committed liars in a room? They're propagandists, both of them. So there's bound to be lots of photo ops and handshakes and exchanges of hamburgers, So we'll just have a quick look. Then I want to look at Alexander Acosta and how he handled or didn't handle, or in fact buried, the Epstein case. And the third thing is Cohen in the public testimony. I've tried to clear my desk for Thursday. It's Thursday in Australia, Wednesday when you get it, so I can hear the pearls that fall from the lips of Michael Cohen. But first, it's too early, just a bad shuffle. But first, Trump and Kim Jong Un. I'll just do a quick reading from Trump's perspective and Kim Jong Un's perspective. What's going to happen with the meeting of these two illustrious beings? Trump and Kim Jong Un. Trump and Kim Jong Un. All right, I'm going to do Trump on the left, Kim Jong Un on the right. Okay. So this is the trumpet. Love. Well, isn't that funny? And yes, not so happy on Kim Jong Un's side. Trump famously, remember, I can feel a digression coming on already, viewers. Remember, he said he writes me beautiful letters and that they're in love. It was the weirdest expression out of a president's mouth in virtually any context, let alone in the context of North Korea. But because Trump's never sat through a briefing and has no idea of the complexities, who knows what will transpire. Okay, now let's hope we get the notes from the translator and this one. Okay, so Trump, in all seriousness, gets the love card. In other words, his desire to pull something off that no other president could is greater than anything else. So he loves a dictator. He's really in there. It's the love card. What can you say? So then there's a page of cups who's somewhat deluded. Well, that's Trump. He's an infant. Trump is an adolescent when it comes to foreign policy, or in fact anything to do with the grown-up world. So this is the naivety of Trump. So he's in love, he's naive, and then he gets the 10 of Cups. He gets what he desires in relation to this summit. So that's lots of pickies and being able to say something big and meaningless. So from Trump's perspective, no worries, as we say in Australia in every context. Now, Kim Jong Un, slightly more complicated. He gets the 2 of Wands or the 2 of Swords. He's at a crossroads. He has to make a decision which way he's going to go. In other words, how's he going to play this conversation? So I think, even though it's very close to the summit, he hasn't entirely made up his mind. The old generals would be in his ear, as would Russia. But he could be swayed by the positive energy of Trump, and he'll play him like a violin. But as to how he's going to do that, I think he's going to see how it unfolds in the meeting and roll with that. He gets the volcano. So I think it's not so much what Trump will be saying to him, it's what the other American high-level officials will be saying, which is, we're going to keep the sanctions up on you. I don't like sanctions, viewers. I'm sorry. Sanctions on Iran, sanctions North Korea, sanctions everywhere. It only affects the people. The oligarchs are a sanction-free zone. You know, their caviar gets dropped in. You know, it's sanctions, hate sanctions. Okay. So the volcano could be that Kim Jong Un's difficulty in making this decision is more because he knows Trump's an idiot and he's got to deal with the real players when Trump gets back on Air Force One. And he could sit through it and then blow his stack afterwards is a distinct possibility. He's young too. They both get page cards. This is the Jester of Winds, Page of Swords. This is the card of the spy, the Page of Swords. So in other words, Kim Jong Un, no matter which path he actually treads, will whisper what he thinks Trump will want to hear and, of course, do nothing about it. In a way, he's a spy in his own camp. So I'll just do an outcome card for each of them, and then we'll move on. Oh, sorry, this is the Japaridze deck, and they're harder to shuffle because I don't work with them much. They're still really stiff, whereas your favourite cards are really easy to handle. The new ones are a bit tricky. Okay, outcome for Trump. Outcome of the summit for Trump. Yeah, he gets the Knight of Cups. Being made an offer or making an offer. Yeah, I think he's going to make an offer. And for Kim Jong Un, how's it going to work out? War. I think he's going to, Kim Jong Un, this is, nod and smile, but it's going to make no difference at all to his war plans. This strange offer, it's called the Stranger of Tides, and it is strange. It's a strange card, and Trump is strange. He's capable of saying something like, I'm unilaterally going to end the war with North Korea or something like that. Something totally stupid and vacuous. And Kim Jong Un's going to just continue business as usual. And he'll choose a few old factories in the hills and blow them up and put it online and say we're dismantling, but of course he won't be. So no real revelations there. Trump will claim it as a victory. So next we have the Epstein saga. So I'm sure you're all very familiar, probably more so than me, with the court case around that. I think I'm going to move to the Rider-Waite for this. So essentially what happened was Epstein trafficked in young girls, very young girls, for years, and some very famous men partook of that arrangement. And don't think for 1 minute they were just Republicans either. Bill Clinton's name's been mentioned, but others. He was the billionaire hedge fund guy. A lot of them played together, you know. So that was him. Then when he got caught, the AG of Florida, who was then Alexander Acosta, did a sweetheart deal for Epstein. He only got 18 months, and it wasn't even 18 months in jail. He was allowed out every day to go to work, and just had to report back. Like, really? But the worst thing about that was it contravenes victims' rights. So legally, the prosecution should have presented a deal to Acosta. Acosta was in charge of liaising with the victims and didn't. And so they didn't get a chance to say, no, we hate this deal, it's inadequate, and appeal it. They didn't get that chance because of him. He shut it down. So he's a bent bunny. And now he's your Labour Secretary, USA, in charge of, amongst other things, child trafficking. It's gobsmacking. I mean, when the movies are made, when the books are written after this presidency, I doubt there'll be a Republican left standing. You know. But look, let's have a look. That's what I want to know. Will Acosta be held to account? Some of the legal eagles are saying he should be disbarred over this. I wish, but will he be forced to account in any way? Acosta. At bare minimum, he should resign his current post. But who knows? What will happen to Acosta? I'm going to do a 4-carder on this, the main issue and past, present, future. So the main issue is the Tower. It's been coming up a lot lately. In the past, yes, well, hidden agendas. I mean, really, yes, totally a hidden agenda. Currently, hermit mode, not saying anything, not doing anything, but the light is being shone. And future, the Empress. I think, given that the Tower is sitting on top of him at the moment, his hidden agendas have been exposed by the light. He's trying to be a hermit. Now, the Empress, the card, it's a very female card, the card of fertility, new ideas, pregnancy even, and all those things. But she's like a guardian of women. The Empress is a guardian of women. So I'm going to just do one more on the Empress, because that looks as if it's a career-ending moment, you'd have to think. Oops, sorry. So I want to clarify on the Empress and Acosta's career in the future. The Empress. Acosta's career. It's in the balance. It's in the balance. So it hasn't been decided yet. So you're going to have, in legal land, you're going to have those who I've already sort of seen commentary about, who are saying he should be disbarred. This is shocking. This is terrible. And there'll be others who are saying, oh, it was 12 years ago. Oh, you know, it's just how business was done then. Oh, maybe. So I think that conversation is being had. I think it's also meaning juggling and manipulation with Republicans who are going to say, oh, well, he might not have been the best appointment, but you know, defending this man. So he's being defended but he's also being challenged. And one would like to think this is the overarching energy of his story. All right. Now we all know that Cohen's speaking publicly. We all know that he's got infinite dirt on Trump and Trump org, meaning the demon spawn. But even to this day, Cohen hasn't gone all the way in terms of a special plea deal per se, as I understand it. It's something, there's certain things he's refused to give up. So, but I think in my previous readings on him, this is personal now. He was very hurt by Trump. You know, he gave this guy the best years of his life. No, he went over and above. You know, all con men, all crooked business dealers need crooked lawyers. But Cohen felt personally invested in the Trump stuff, and that's why I think he was so gutted when Trump just threw him to the wolves, you know. So what I want to know is not so much what he's going to say, is how, this is my new theme, how are the Republicans going to handle his testimony? Because Trump's still got a 44% approval rating. Why is that? It's because 77% of Republicans still notionally support him. They don't all like him, they don't all trust him, but they're, you know, welded on because of the bloody judges. America, that's another thing you have to approach, how the high court judges are put in. You know, these systems. Okay, sorry, I need to concentrate. So the question is, how will the GOP react to Cohen's testimony? The GOP and Cohen's testimony. Have a little look, shall we? So, oh God, these people. They're going to be conflicted. Not making a decision. The Emperor, Trump, Knight of Swords, and the Devil. What do I think? This is heavy stuff. It should be watershed stuff. But I'm not seeing a watershed. You know, I was hoping to see big breakthroughs like, you know, they'd be unable to ignore this testimony. I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that. So this is internal conflict, either internal in your head or within each other. Conflict that doesn't have a clear winner. Conflict that is pointless. So they're going to be conflicted. Behind this, what are they going to do? That would be nothing, you know, in the sense of the willing sacrifice. Okay, how can that be interpreted in relation to this question? Are they going to see Cohen as the sacrifice? In other words, they'll just say, we don't believe Cohen. He's lied before. You can't believe him. This is really irritating because in simplistic terms, it's a really easy argument, right? The guy has lied through his teeth constantly, again and again, so therefore you can't believe him. It sort of makes sense. If you just think that far and stop, it makes sense. So I think they'll be pushing that line. In real life, of course, he Mueller has corroboration for all the things that Cohen has been indicted for. It's not just Cohen saying Trump did this or Junior did that. It's all corroborated. So it's not about his history of lying. It's about corroborated evidence. But they won't get to part two, right? They will defend and defend and defend. They'll go on the attack. In fact, expect the GOP to attack. They'll attack Cohen. They'll attack the investigation even. You can be damn sure the Dems will be attacking as well, right? But my question was the GOP. So they'll go on the attack. Why? Because they are chained to the devil, Trump. He's always the emperor in my readings. They're chained to the devil. They see their fortune still as tied to Trump. Until they break that nexus, we will not see the real change that we need to see in order to stay sane, in order to reclaim the country. This is it. They are doing the devil's work. You know, they are doing the emperor's bidding and the devil's work. They are chained to it. Wish I had better news. But to be forewarned is to be forearmed, viewers. So do not be surprised. Of course, the information will still be shocking and scandalous. It will lead to other things. It will lead to further investigation. And I think some middle-of-the-road Republicans won't be able to defend it much longer. I think some will fall away over this, but not the big numbers, not Trump dropping to 18% or something, which is where he should be, you know, cushioned by his absolute base. So they haven't got there yet. They haven't got to the bottom, you know. All right, so remember, as this all unfolds, try and think of it, you know, in the long game. It all has to play out legally, and legal things aren't fast. Now, guys, I just wanted to remind you all, in a few weeks, I have to go away again, family business. So if you want a reading in the next few weeks, please get in touch. The emails on the videos, because I'll be doing readings for the next few weeks, and then I'll be taking a break. Not from these. I will stock you up. You'll be all right. But I won't be able to do private readings then for another few weeks after that. So if you want to get in now. And I have to pass on the news. Dave from Moonride is now moved. He's in another city. He's set up. He's up and running again. Okay. Just a lot of you ask after him. All right, guys. So Cohen, bring it on. Oh, and I have to say about Cohen myself before I sign off here, viewers. The other problem I feel, not as a reader, just as an observer, the problem is Cohen's got a really whinging manner. We could talk about whinging in Australia, people who moan about everything. He's got a poor me sort of tonality about him. And I think that's really unfortunate. He doesn't sound like a good guy. He sounds like he's got an axe to grind. He doesn't sound plausible. And I think that's going to count against him and make it easier for the Republicans to brush away what he actually has to say. But that's not what these cases rest on. It's all that other paperwork. Okay? Okay, bye for now. Ciao. See you soon.